Hello guys, you're welcome back again to Ayonitemitv. If this is your first time here, you're welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, you're also welcome back to this channel. Thank you for always tuning in into our videos. We love you so much. So my name is Tim Tayo and
My name is Ayodele.
so guys, we're having a special guest on our channel today. So Mr. and Mrs. Francis.
Hello. Yeah, good day, everyone.
Hello, good day everyone.
We are so happy to be on this channel. Yeah, thanks so much.
So guys, we'll be asking them some questions. So stay tuned and enjoy this video and also learn one or two things that you can pick from whatever they say. Just try to pick and learn from it. So we'll be asking them some questions about their relationship, about their marriage. So guys, watch out and enjoy the video. So, Mr. and Mrs. Francis, so how long have you been married?
We've been married for like 2 years now, 2 years, and the journey has been very interesting, right?
So now you want you to tell us story about how you met, how your love story began. Also, you want you to tell us about it.
Actually, we met in school,
Yes.
and that was where it all began.
Mm.
He had a friend in the compound where I stayed, actually, and funnily, or funny enough, I I was staying there, but I had other friends, some other places where I usually go to stay. So I don't usually stay there. I only come there to pick things and then leave. But with information I gathered, he was always coming there from school. After classes, him and his friends will come to this other person's place to stay and chill till the next class. So that day I just came in. I think I came in to get something. And then I noticed that there was no water. I said, okay, let me quickly get water from the tap. And I was about to get the water. He was in his friend's place. So he just came out. And then that was how we met.
That
And
was
then,
how it, you know. Hmm.
and then no, he didn't.
Was it love at first sight?
Um, let's say maybe he was attracted to me,
Attraction
but I actually
at
didn't notice
first
him
sight.
at first.
Yeah.
I didn't notice him at first. I think then what had happened was, I think I was trying to pass after we met, because it's after we even got married. He was telling me about. I said okay. After we met, I think I was trying to pass. The hallway is actually a bit narrow, so he intentionally stepped on me. Intentionally stepped on me. So, and I
Love
said,
games guys play, you know.
So I
Just to get reactions.
So I was like, what is it? And then he just said, sorry. And we started talking. So from there, when he's come to the compound, he will call and said, he's around. Though I said, okay. From there, we started meeting up and we became friends at first before we even started dating, and that was how it all.
So you said you started friends at first before dating. So what I'm directing these questions to Mr. Francis now. Now, so what do you think about, because you've heard of stories like when you meet someone, then you just and you like the person, just go straight to the person that you like him or you like her. I want you to marry me. What do you think about that? And then with your own approach, was it intentional or you were just trying to see how it will go?
All right, thank you so much. I believe friendship is very important in every relationship. As my wife said, we first started as friends. Yes, we started as friends. So it's better to start as friends because, I've heard a lot of people talk about love at first sight. When they see the person, butterflies in the air, and then the next thing they just say, oh, they go into relationship. I feel that's not the best way to start a relationship because you can never underestimate the power of friendship in relationships. It gets to a point whereby that love at first sight, everything, it's no more there.
To fade away.
Yeah, it fades away. So what keeps the relationship going most times, I believe it's friendship. So once you've created this friendship, once you've been able to establish good relationship, a good friendship relationship between each other, I think it makes it much more easier and simple. You can imagine while we're cutting, there's some crazy things of which as friends, when we started as friends, that's the area where you can get to know the person better. Because once you guys start a relationship, there are some things of which they may start, the second person may
Acting
be
up.
I
exactly
think it's
start
even in case
hiding.
of friendship, one would know that can I marry this person or not?
Yes
Like
or
your
not.
because it's not all our friends that we
Mm-hmm.
can that somebody can get
Can
married
get
to.
married to, definitely is true. Yes, so we started with friendship, and that's I would advise any person who wants to go into a marriage relationship to actually build friendship first. Yes,
So Mr. Francis, when you did not propose, did you friend zone her or she brother zoned you for a while?
okay, at a point in time we've been close. As she said earlier on, we're always here together, fellowship together, doing going to classes together. So at a point, I started having this feeling normally, that okay, I started having this attraction, this strong attraction for her, and it was something of which I never felt to any other person. I didn't have such a mutual feeling with any other person. So on that fateful day, I had to, just let out my mind, and I told her, okay. Then it was Sister Daniela. She was the publicity,
Secretary.
yes, in my fellowship
Fellowship.
then, director in the fellowship then, and I happened to be the president of that fellowship as at that time. So it was
The
so
president wants to publicize his
so it was, so I had to just, we're friends to the extent that we could talk about almost anything. So I wasn't under pressure to let out my feelings to her. So I just had to tell her, this is how I feel towards you, if you don't mind. And I wasn't ready for anyhow relationship. I I had this mindset that okay, I want to get into something serious that was going to lead to marriage. And with her character and everything of which I saw she possessed then, she was just a perfect match for the best person that I wanted to be my wife. So, and I tell my friends over and over again, even presently today, that I've never ever regretted marrying her, because every single day with her has just been awesome. I mean, when I mean awesome, I mean it awesome. I've seen so many persons talk about how challenging marriage is and stuff like that. I'm telling you, I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying it because I'm definitely sure I married the right person. So, one advice I want to give to so many persons out there is, when you want to marry, you don't look at the physical things, because we have a lot of people that, they'll say, I want somebody who has figure eight, I want somebody who is tall, I want somebody who has pointed nose. Well, those things are just, I see them as secondary things. Beauty fades away. But one of the main thing of which I held that my pastor do tell me back then was, you marry, character speaks. So a person who is godly, a person who has good character and has good what they call it,
Morals.
morals. I think those are the best fit persons for a person to settle with, because my pastor used to say then that the most beautiful woman, that's 1970. That's at that time. Sorry, 1920. She's an old woman, So that's how it is. So most of all these things they fade away, but what stays is good character, morals, and the rest. So it's very important. Even during courtship period, people build most of all those values. Yeah.
What were your fears about marriage?
I don't think I had any fears. Oh.
Okay.
Because I don't think I had any fears because my parents, I seeing them married, actually, I had a beautiful picture of marriage. from my parents, so I wasn't scared of marriage. And knowing that I was getting married to someone that have been friends with me for a long time, so I don't think I had any fears.
Yeah.
I don't think I had any fears.
Even me too, I actually didn't have any fears. But I would say, I don't know whether it's a fear. I would say what I had in mind was that, this thing is a lifetime thing. So I was just telling myself, I was recording it into my subconscious that, young man, what you're going into is a lifetime thing. Come on. So you can't, you just have to prepare as much as possible for it. Morally, spiritually, in every aspect. So that's why I kept on working on myself, knowing that what I'm going into is not something that 2 years, 4 years, 5 years. No, we're talking about a lifetime thing. So I don't know if I can call that a fear, but it kept on recording in my subconscious that it's a lifetime thing. So you have to prepare better for it so that you can do well in it.
Alright, let me ask a question. Sorry.
Alright.
From what you mentioned earlier, you said you did 6 years or 6 months.
6 years.
6 years.
6 years dating period.
Yes.
Can you advise that for someone? Because I've seen people that they say that don't try it. I did it and I didn't really like it. We heard about several breakups during the period of breakups and makeup and all that. So can you really advise it for people 6 years dating? Was it your plan? Or there are some people that from now they already knew that I'm going to get married in the next 5 years and they tell their spouse and they agree. So was it your plan from the onset?
Actually, for me, I would say yes, it was our plan because we're just leaving school.
Leaving school, yes.
We're just leaving school, and I lost my dad when I was my final year.
Oh, sorry.
So there was no way I could just jump. I want to get married. I had siblings, so I had to work at some point to support my family. And then bringing my family into a marriage at such an early time would have been so much responsibility. So I had to, yes, we're dating, but marriage was not in the plan. I had to make sure I could contribute my own quota into the family for my siblings to survive too, at least. And that was why, and I think he supported that idea. So
you were the one that was the originator that was not too ready.
I was not too ready. I don't think you were too ready too.
I wasn't.
We're just in our final.
We were just in the final, so we just left school.
Yes.
So
it could have been 3 years. Probably plan 3 years.
Maybe 3 years we're not ready. We're not ready. We're not very ready.
Because 6 years is
it's actually not much because we're building other things.
There's several things to build.
We're building other things.
And funny enough, it's not that we're in the same environment.
Yes.
We're in
different places.
Environments. So we had most times we just talk on phone. We keep talking. We kept. In fact, the communication was just intact.
And you guys trusted yourself.
Yeah, that's
we did.
trust.
That
was right from time.
I'm still in a relationship with this person, and she is still in a relationship with me.
Yes.
Because you might be in a very long relationship, assuming that you are in a relationship with a person, and the person is not in a relationship with you.
That's very true.
Because you may
I
far away.
I so trusted her that I was in a
true.
relationship with somebody of which we're heading somewhere.
And our both parents knew,
Yeah.
so it was easy.
Because sometimes it's not kind of easy sometimes to maintain long distance relationships.
Relationship and for a longer period of time. That's why what I would say to the question of which you asked me, sir, is that you said I should advise people to know
do I recommend it?
Yes. What works for everybody is different. That's it. And just the same way marriages also, I've seen several marriages, I've seen different things of which they encounter, and that's before I got into mine. So I had already used DS to learn several things of which I shouldn't do in mine, so that mine will go the same way their own went. So I would say what works for everybody is actually different.
If somebody also know their weakness,
their weaknesses.
So that if this person is not like you're not communicating well, You know that you can easily what's it called, be emotionally attached to somebody, else easily.
That's one thing about relationship. You should understand yourself and be able to, draw some lines with, especially the opposite sex, in such a kind of distance relationship. Then also the trust factor is key.
So the next question I want to ask you, I know that you are both busy together, doing the hustling, provide for the family and all. So in all of this, how do you try to maintain intimacy? How do you still maintain romance and fun together?
Looking at your busy schedule.
Busy schedule. You know, sometimes getting home tired, especially people that are staying in Lagos and all that, like getting home, so people getting home 12, 11, waking up again 5 o'clock, off to work. So how do you still maintain intimacy?
Okay, so
actually, it depends on how. Okay, let me answer from my own understanding of the question. The thing is, we're actually very busy. We do the same job actually, but we go different ways and different locations. The first thing we do is when we wake up, after our prayers, I stand up to go and prepare breakfast or whatever I will take out. He comes out with me. He might not come directly into the kitchen but he will just sit our sitting room. He will sit in the sitting room. I'll keep the kitchen door open. We're talking. Okay, what happened yesterday? How was your day? We talk. We leave the house together. That's one thing. We leave the house together. He might not be having a class at that particular time, but he will leave the house with me. You get? And then if we're going towards the same direction, we share the same bike. If we're going out with the car, we share the same car. And when we are coming back, we always come back together. He will wait for me somewhere. I will meet him there. We come back together. And then, even if it happens that probably I don't have anything to do out till late, and I get home, I don't take my dinner. I still wait for him. We actually eat at the same time for us. That's what works. So that as we are eating, we're talking.
There's always something to say.
Because I don't like eating late.
Okay.
Be nice. So sometimes maybe it goes out late and like
marriage is sacrifice.
Yeah, that's it. When you first married, I
eat by 7. I eat by 6:30, 7.
It was 7 o'clock.
When we just got married.
But I discovered that I just had to bend my rules.
Because when we're eating, we talk.
There's no way I would come back before that time and
that have constipation when we eat late.
There must be a way out.
And then when we're eating, we're talking.
So there's always.
And when we're done eating, now you don't just rush to bed, so we still stay, we still talk. And then
I also had a question.
So let me still throw a little light on that question. There's this popular saying that a thing a person loves, you find time for such thing. You create time out of no time. We
where
have
your treasure
weekends.
is, that's where your heart is.
Yes, even the Bible says where your treasure is, that's where your heart is. So we may go out during the week, but definitely we still come back home. We share, we have time for ourselves.
And on weekends too.
Weekends, we are together.
Sunday.
And I would love to say every single minute you have with your spouse, you need to cherish it because you see, this life is short. So every minute, every hour you spend with your spouse, why keep long faces? Make it a happy time, and enjoy yourself. So we always have time together. We share so many things, Like she has been my friend right from time. She's still my friend, and
we gossip together. We do everything together.
So and in line with that question, like in terms of the technology now, our phones.
Yeah.
So how are you managing? Your
communication.
phone? Like for instance, some people. Okay, for instance now. My husband will claim that he's working from home.
Yeah.
So when I tell him that, I'm feeling like we are apart. I'm feeling like I feel like I'm missing you. Be like
connection.
There's like be like I'm at home from home. They said no, you're with your phone. Do you understand? Like so I used to tell him that I'm always off. Of course I know that he's working. Like customers are communicating
with him,
with customers on phone and all that. We share it. So but. On his mind, like okay, said because of his majorly because of his family, That's why he's not looking for a job, so he can have time
Yeah,
for
time for
family.
the
But
home.
even with staying at home, is most times he's always with his phone.
Phone.
So how is there? What's going? And really, that this phone issue has really caused a lot of things in family.
Yeah.
So that you will get to a house,
Yeah,
father
you
is
see,
pressing
yeah,
phone,
mother
is
somewhere,
pressing
kids
phone,
in the
even
room.
pressing phone. Say,
Yes,
daughter
playing
in a room.
games. It's true.
And before you know it, a whole day they may not come out.
Come on, yeah.
Just people will just pick up their phone and enter their room and continue doing whatever. So how you are managing the phone,
that.
social media, and still
Yeah. Well, I want to say something towards that area. I know she has a lot to say in that area. But let me just quickly throw this. Communication is one main thing that makes marriage work. And once you understand that, you need to find intentional ways to drive this communication into the home so that it will definitely work. The marriage will definitely work. So, like I said the other time, you always find time for what you truly love. I get me. So most times, yes, the phones are there to distract you. You are there. You may be working from on your phone or stuff like that. But you still need to give out time, to be able to communicate. Because once communication is missing, what happens? That home starts dying gradually. So that's it. I know she will throw more light. She's a specialist in that.
I still don't have anything to say about that because he has just said everything. It's even Paul said in the Bible that you put your body under subjection.
Yeah.
You have a phone, yes, there should be time for you to use it.
There should be time.
And there should be time for your family. So that's just it. Because there are some companies where you work, you're not allowed to take your phone into the company to work.
Yeah.
So if you can sustain that
boundary,
You should have working periods.
So you should.
And sometimes when I just hear, I may be on my phone, and sometimes when I hear her speak, she's trying to relate some information to me. I just know that, okay, let me just give her listening ears. I definitely just have to. So whatever I'm doing, I have to, put it aside, and God comes first, family comes after. So that's it.
okay. So the next question is, how do you create boundaries to protect your marriage?
Actually, if it's from family, families, we got married, they told us go and live your life. That's how actually that's why I used to say that we're so blessed that we have parents that don't call us every minute to what they this is what you should. They just allow you. Like when I got married, my mom told me, said, see, you have your own family now to think of. You have tried for us. Go and live your life. Sometimes my mom called me just once a week. Sometimes once in a month. Because she's like, you're married, you have your own family, go and live your life. His mom too, the same thing. It's only, let's say, if she has not seen us for like a week or two, she said, you people still in Ibadan, say yes, so we're still here. So that's just it. And then when it comes to friends, we have there's this thing we have personal friends and we have family friends. There's someone that comes to our house, he's our family friend. We stay with you, we play with you, but when it's his own, we allow each other to have our own personal lives.
Yeah.
He has his friends, he has a time, everybody has their own space in your heart. So I am allowed to go out, mingle with my own friends, stay with them, gist, and I'll still come back home. Because I can't stay with him forever. Like, no, forever I can stay. I'm married to him. But what I mean is, he cannot always be in my life. So I have my own friends, he has his own friends. He has his own time to go and stay with them. He wants to play PS with them. He wants to play football. He will go. If it's on a day, like there are some days he goes to play football. If I know that, I don't have anything to do, I say, I'm coming today with you. I'll go out with his friends. I'll sit down and watch them play football. We're done. We go. And then we still spend time together and we still spend time apart. So he knows that there are some kinds of friendship. Anyway, I think everybody around in his life know that he's married. And they respect that. They know when to call him. They know when to meet out with him. And him being a married man too, he knows when to fix his appointments. And so that's just how we do it.
Okay. So the next question is, how do you resolve conflicts?
or your marriage is
Or you
very
don't-
perfect.
There's no marriage that is perfect. There's no marriage that is
There's this
perfect.
popular saying that every rose has its
own
thorns.
thorns.
You understand? So
There's no marriage that is
definitely there is no
perfect.
perfect home like that. There will definitely be conflicts. Those are some of the things that makes the love stronger. That's what I say.
Definitely. You know, we're two different persons. In as much as we're
You
friends.
understand that?
My husband is the kind of person that when he's angry, he just leave him alone. When he's angry, just leave him alone. And when you leave, just allow him, he will heal on his own. And then maybe later you come back and say, that thing I did, I'm sorry. Just,
You know, sometimes
but when
before
you're
you
having
come
an
back,
issue,
I already-
yes, and when you're having an
Yeah.
issue with him, just let him be. And once you said it once, don't keep saying it, because if you keep saying, you say, you're nagging. So you just, when he's angry or when I offend him or just let him be. He will just on his own heal and probably go and that thing you did, I didn't like it too, and then you say, okay, sorry, I didn't mean it this way time. So when we face any conflict, actually, for me, I just let him be. And when I let him be, I notice that he will still come back and we'll still talk about it. But one thing is that when we have issues, we don't just put it under the carpet, we trash it. But we might not trash it at that moment it is happening.
Not all situations can be
Trashed at that point.
At that point.
So I let him heal. I let him, okay, everybody go and think of what you have done. Are you getting? When you're done, okay, we come back, okay, what happened? This is what happened.
We
He will say
definitely
his
will
own
solve
and we
it.
talk about it and then we know what to do.
Yeah, the same with her also. I discovered she's this kind of person that once an issue happens,
I want to trash
immediately
it.
she wants to deal with it.
But now,
I think it's women though.
Over time,
It's not
really.
women, yes. Actually, I like it to be
She also, sometimes if you try to do that, the whole thing could escalate into something that is more than what is at hand. So over time, she got to understand that it's most times it's better you relax on the issue, because at that point there is pressure. Everybody's angry. The pressure is more. So make sure you still deal with that issue that same day. So definitely when we relax on an issue, maybe it just happened now, and it depends. Not all issues you can relax on like that. There are some issues you just need to talk about it at that point. But when you both understand yourselves that, okay, those are some of the things you build during courtship. During those friendship stage, we build so many things. We had told ourselves that, okay, if anything happens, we are going to solve it. So when things happen, we already know that, okay, for this home to work, we just have to put this thing back in place. It got scattered. Yes, we made it this way. We have to fix it up also. So that has been our what I call it, motivation. That's where we've been helping with issues. So we can leave an issue for now. Later we'll come back to one of us just guy, come now, Alpha, this thing, let's talk about. Okay, so we have to put our ego under the carpet and then we deal with it and we ride on. So that's how it's been.
So all those periods at which you left the issue, like for it to calm down, like do you still talk to each other?
Yes, we don't keep malice. So communication is one key thing.
I had one couple saying that like when they're having conflict, like maybe they're having what's it called now? Disagreement that they see this together, they see what's it called, talk.
I noticed something with this my wonderful wife, Jesus Christ. Anytime we have issues like this, she will just behave like sometimes that after we've just we don't want to talk about that issue. That's when she will now go and give me very good food. Until we pay me inside. She will be doing I'll be like that. So I have no option than to just reciprocate whatever she's doing. So even if I want to keep malice, I can't even do that anymore. I'll just be like,
if I'm talking to you, I will do things normal. There's no day that we have disagreement. That if it is always like, hey, what's going on?
As in the next minute you just see her, she will start saying, hey, about this, what do you want?
Because
I'll be like, okay, I have to respond. So
I won't speak immediately. I don't have that grace here to start. But he has the grace that we just act as if nothing happened.
You know, I was telling, I think I told him that the reason I even got to do that was because based on my parents. My dad died when I was in my final year, like I told you. For all throughout my childhood, I didn't see my parents quarrel. It's not because they didn't have issues, but whenever they had it, they knew that their children were around, so they didn't put up that front in front of them. So I keep telling, I said, if we have kids and we have issues and we don't, because we have an issue, we say, okay, well, you go and say, no, it's the child will just feel neglected.
Yes.
So when you have an issue, you put it aside, you continue your life. The child doesn't even know that there's an issue. And the child will have a lovely life, childhood. But when you're quarreling and the child say, look at you, see, and there is no way you have an issue or a conflict that it won't affect the child if the child is aware of it.
Yes.
You know, yes, you know, I'm a teacher. Children come to you and say, today my mommy did not give us breakfast because she was angry with my dad. Yes, they do that. They do that. So imagine such a scenario now. So that's one way I have in mind, that when you have an issue, you prepare for your children ahead, so that when they come, they don't come and see people quarreling, and then things will definitely happen. And when they happen, put them aside and continue your daily activities.
That's very nice.
So who do say sorry first?
It depends on who is wrong. It depends on who is wrong. Whoever is wrong will say sorry.
So the next question is what are your differences and how do you manage the differences in marriage? Like the differences then in marriage, how do you manage it? You know, for the fact that we come from two different backgrounds.
I want to start by saying, in the university of marriage, you have to be open to learning. You have to be open to correction. You must have a teachable spirit before you get into marriage. And that was one of the main things that made me, like her kind of personality. Because right from time, she just had this teachable spirit. She was open to correction, she was open to new things. And that's what happens. Because when you get into marriage, definitely you're from two different backgrounds, upbringing different, and now both of you are supposed to be one flesh, living in the same house. Definitely there will be issues arising due to she's coming with her own perspective from her own area, the differences. So what I feel is, what we do is we already understand the peculiarity of each other. You are different, I'm different. Okay, so definitely I'm expecting you to exhibit some differences from mine. Okay, I should be able to accommodate whatever comes. And we should be able to talk about it and resolve at a particular stage, saying, okay, conclusion, yes. Okay, why don't we do it like this? And some of the things that makes marriage work is a person needs to be able to endure. Endurance is a key factor to making a marriage work. You should be able to endure. Forgiveness, it's key also. So some of those things are things that could help in striking a balance between the differences of which both have. And we've been using it over the years and it's working.
It's been working.
Yeah, I don't know if she should have
area of differences. Like you said, it's compromise.
You should be open to
a compromise.
To shift ground.
Yes, bend your rules.
Yes.
Exactly. This is how we're taught. As I was growing up,
This is how I saw my parents do this.
You should understand that now you are in your own home, not the way it's being done there. So you should be open to new ideas, new ways, and you should be able to correct some of the ancient beliefs that maybe you might have had. So that's it.
Let me even use one current one now. My husband doesn't like eating onion.
Onions.
And I grew up in a house where that's when you served that I was telling yes, and thank God it was my own that had much onion. It didn't have much. So it was like I said. So and I grew up in a house where we liked it. We even used to make onion sauce with this thing. So when I got married to him, he was like, he doesn't like eating onion. And the mom too, like his mom likes onion. So the mom said because of that, she was also reducing the way she eats. But as he left, she celebrated. So now I'm the one. So what I did was, knowing that there are some things I like onion in. Like if I want to make how do we call it? How do we call this thing? Egg sauce to eat with bread. I'll make my own differently and make his own. And then if I'm cooking a pot of rice, I know that I can do without onion or with onion. I will just cook the rice without onion. so that he can eat and I can still eat since it won't kill me.
Yes.
But if it's something I know I can't do without, I'll just okay, well let me make his own. I'm the one going through the stress. I'll make his own, I'll make mine. But if it's something I know, oh, I can manage, I'll still join him to take the one
Because he
without.
doesn't want to see the visible.
Yeah,
or
he doesn't
you have
want
to
to.
blend.
And then even if you blend, he must not perceive it.
Oh.
Even if you blend, he must not perceive it because he doesn't like it. So
Wow.
that's just
Wow.
and then you're watching TV, the volume must not go beyond a particular level because he doesn't like noise. So when you and I grew up in Nigeria, I had 5 siblings, we're 6. So the house is always noisy. Plus I think before I got married I had about 6 nephews, 4 nephews and 3 nieces. So the house is always, but getting married to him knows that he doesn't like noise. When I'm watching, I'll just, because of that, any movie I'm watching, I make sure it has subtitles. I just review the subtitles and watch. So it's compromise.
Wow.
It's compromise.
Wow.
So it's compromise. It's compromise.
And it's those differences majorly that causes any
Issues.
That brings up issues.
Yeah, that brings up issues, especially early marriage. Like, what are you doing?
She's this kind of person. God, my wife can arrange the house. Jesus. Hey, as in, when I mean arrange, she's a
As he drops something, I'll pick it up.
I'm telling you, and I'm this kind of person. When I come like this, when I pull the shirts like on the chest. But she's this kind of person. She's so organized. She can clean, arrange. So, okay. So I had to start bending my rooms.
So when you come now, you just go into the room first.
I already know
so that you will move where
everything. I'll place things. But at first it wasn't like that. I was really bad at that.
And we're not fighting over it. We were patient with each other.
Yes,
until we learned
patiently.
to compromise.
I think one of the best ways a person can easily teach the person is through love. Like you teach in love, not like you're trying to correct and you are so bone on it and then you're so aggressive on the correction. Most people, if you try that method with them, they end up not learning, or they end up not being corrected. But if you meet a person and say, Junior, why did you do that? Don't you know you're a prince, you're a king? A king can't do such. Come on. The next time when Junior wants to make that same mistake, he will understand that, oh, I'm a king. Royalties don't do this. So I think correcting in love is also one way, one very nice way of which they correct. And most times I see it from the angle of the women. I just want to thank God for the kind of wife I have. She has those nice correcting measures. Like she's telling you a thing is bad, wrong, but she has nice ways of telling you it's wrong. That you don't even pick any offense with it. And those are some of the things of which I'm happy she was able to build over time. You understand? Because it's nice, yes, corrections will definitely come. Even the Bible says correction is grievous unto a man that forsaketh the way. So definitely sometimes people don't like being corrected, but you should be able to put the correction in such a nice way that it won't
doesn't even sound like correction.
But the person knows
and you will
automatically,
achieve your
yes.
aim without causing any commotion.
Yes, that's true. So all these things are to be built.
Yes. So what are the lessons learned in this years of marriage?
A lot.
A lot of things. So
Yeah. Marriage is an institution, a university of
Before you
people,
answer
so-
that question, I saw a post of a lady. She was saying that divorce of 3 months married, because she was like 10 years of friendship, 3 months of marriage, divorce. So I was just wondering that
What could have happened?
what could have happened, like, because most times because of to avoid all this, not that we build friendship. So can you say that there's a difference between when you were friends? Not really. Some people change. Change is constant. I see a lot of people that probably they are experiencing some particular things in their marriage, and I ask them that, is this how it is from the beginning? And they will say no. Truthfully speaking, that was my major fear before getting married. Like, I see people, some men misbehaving, some women misbehaving, and I'll be like, how did this bad actually do it by? How did it get here? I'm sure that if this person has been exhibiting this thing before, they would have gotten married. So can you say that there is kind of a difference between friendship level and marriage.
Okay, you remember what we told you when we first started? We said that we're friends, and when he asked me to go out with him, like when he asked me to go into a serious relationship, I said we prayed first. Some people are friends, but they don't seek the face of God, whether they are compatible in marriage. We can be friends, but we are not meant to be married. Because they were friends for 10 years. It's possible that person she was friends with was not God's plan for her.
Yeah, that's true.
We were friends, yes. But when we wanted to get into an intimate relationship, we had to go and pray. And probably that's the best thing. You cannot do something without God and expect God to come into it.
One thing is that there is no relationship, be it friendship, be it marriage, that doesn't have challenges attached to it. It's more or less like a precious thing. These things are precious things, like especially marriage. And definitely to enjoy the good of that precious thing, you have to encounter a lot. I used to liken marriage to a marathon race. You understand? For you to get to the finish line, endurance is necessary. Endurance is necessary. Forgiveness are some of the things that are necessary. Within these few years of which we've spent together, it's been interesting. Yes. Some of the things I've been able to we've been able to build together, or we discovered, is that marriage is all about forgiveness. It's all about good communication. It's all about endurance. It's all about tenacity. Then it's all about learning. So you keep learning. There's a popular quote that says, the day you stop learning, the man dies. So in as much as we keep learning to keep the brain active, normal, we learn several other things. In marriage, it's a learning field. We learn daily. I learn how to do this thing better. I learn how to please her better. I learn how to talk to her better in such a way that, it brings out the best in her. And it also brings out the best in me. And the message of which I want to pass across, I'm able to pass across. So you keep learning better ways to make your spouse happy over the years. So all those things are some of the things, and humility. So having a teachable spirit is also key. These are some of the key ingredients, I think, make a lasting relationship, and also both friendship and even marriage work. Yeah.
Wow.
We've been really blessed.
We've been really blessed, and also I know that our viewers also will have learned not even one or two things, have learned a lot from this video. Like, really appreciate
Thank you so much for having us.
Daniela,
Thank you
Mr.
so much.
Gideon.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, really appreciate you for for honoring our invitation. Honoring our invitation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
So
much.
guys, we've come to the end of today's video. So don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share. Also, it is very important. So see you again in our next video. Don't worry, we'll be doing more of these things. We'll be bringing couples into this channel just to speak to us, for us to learn together.
Grow together.
Grow together. So that's very important. So guys, we appreciate you for staying to the end of today's video.
Till we
See
see
you
you again.
again. Keep
Soaring.
soaring.
Yeah.
Soaring.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.